So I'm actually watching this episode again right now. Um, I had did a video yesterday. It wasn't a full video, but I had like an interruption, so I had to scrap it. But yeah, man, I couldn't wait for this episode, so I watched it yesterday morning during my commute. Like I finished the episode during my commute yesterday morning. Um, and First and foremost, let me just say this, man. All of y'all that have been like liking the videos, commenting on the videos, and it's a shit ton of comments that y'all been leaving. Following the page, reposting the shy videos, adding the videos to y'all favorites. Like big shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate the love, man. Y'all really love the shy on this platform. I'm not saying I'm gonna make this a strictly shy page, but even after the series is over and wraps up, I feel like I still want to do more shy based videos for y'all, man, because y'all really love this shit, and the way that y'all have been engaging and showing love on my page, man, it's just greatly appreciated, man. It's never take it for granted, man. I tell all the podcast listeners the same thing, man. It's the little things that count. I know a lot of people might write it off, oh, it's just people comment. No, man, like y'all are the reason that the page is able to function and the page is able to get some traction and shit like that. So I definitely appreciate y'all for that. So yeah, we're gonna keep the shy shit rolling in the midst of other videos, of course, man. And also, I just had like a complete brain fart moment. But later on today, I don't know whoever's going to see this at whatever time. Later on this morning, make sure y'all check out RNZ Live. Me and Zuko will be back to do our top 5. What the fuck are we doing? What episode are we doing? I don't know. I wish Zuko was here. Shout out to my boy Johnny Zuko. I wish he was here to tell me, oh, we're doing our top 5 survive the night thrillers. But we are going to be streaming on TikTok. So it'll be, 9:30 my time, 6:30 his time. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But this episode overall, man, I want to get the negative shit out the way. It's not a whole bunch of negative shit, but this whole sequence, this whole Emmett and Keisha, having their engagement party and everybody's there. First of all, I love a scene where everybody's there. Even Keith and his girlfriend are there. I didn't think the girlfriend was going to pop back up. I thought it was a character they just wrote to throw in there and just have nothing to do. And she doesn't really have anything to do but be his girlfriend, and Reg is Pusha. But she pops back up and everybody's there. I love the collective effort of having every character in one scene and seeing how they all interact with each other. But the thing that pisses me off about this engagement party is just, it got really annoying, man. Just the level of suspicion that everybody had at this party, because now all of a sudden everybody gives a fuck where Nuck is at. In this moment right here, Shad is talking to Emmett and he's just like, yo, so where Nuck at, man? Like, and he just gives him this look when Emmett tells him, like, yeah, I'm not trying to stress it. I don't know where he's at and this, that, and other. And, Emmett, obviously Emmett and Trig, they had an interaction and they had a back and forth talking about, when Trig told him that Nuck killed Rob. So Emmett looking suspicious will be one thing, because he's like, yo, you told her and nothing happened. So Emmett it makes sense. But Shad is just kind of, he gives him this look, and then Fatima pops up at the fucking party and just, is telling somebody like, yeah, he's hiding something. Talking about Trig, she's like, he's hiding something. I know him too well. And I love the scene where Trig tells Fatima, is like, yeah, you don't know me like you don't know me like you used to. You don't know me like that no more. I love that, because you need that. Because who the fuck is Fatima to talk about something? You leave every chance you get when Trig is in a bad headspace, man. And I'm glad that you're not talking to Victor no more. You got to understand, you're talking to Trig. Like, Trig has been reborn. And another thing I said was that Tiff has been reborn too, man. After she killed Nuck, they bury fucking Nuck's body in the backyard, which was a crazy nod to when Lynn Whitfield threatened Bakari, and she was like, I know you know who killed my son, and if you don't tell me, I'll bury your body in the backyard. Like, she looks at him like that, and it was really terrifying when she did that. But that was a nod to her really being the new Alicia, even down to having Trig be her head of security now, because when they're burying the body, Tiff is scared as shit. She's like, yo, if somebody finds out, they gonna kill me, and Trig is like, yo, over my dead body. And she's like, are you offering to be my bodyguard? And he's like, yeah. She's like, thank you. So, Alicia having Shad as the bodyguard, now Tiff got Trig. It's like, yeah, she's definitely the new Alicia. Keisha having suspicions as to where Nuck is, cool. But it's getting overwhelming, man. Just everybody at the party is just looking at each other like, yo, you know something? What do you know? It's like, all right, man. I feel like the tension breaker in this whole sequence was those 3 kids finding Tiff's stash and getting high, man. I do not condone that for kids whatsoever. However, I was a kid once too. I didn't even smoke bud like that when I was in high school, man. It was like a holiday or some shit when you smoked bud back then. At least for me, it wasn't a frequent thing. But when those boys got into that stash and they played that Afro Man Because I Got High song, I do feel like that's a song that's been overused since it came out. But when you use it in the right scenes and when it's directed well enough, like they got like those cameras I think that are strapped to your chest or some shit like that, and the kids are just walking around like eating every fucking thing, and Emmett's kind of looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is up with these kids? And he finds out that they're high, and Tiff's like, y'all need to get the hell out of my house. I love it, man. Darnell's giving a great speech here about Emmett and Keisha and, you know, weathering the storms through your marriage and things like that. It's a really beautiful speech, and I love to see how Emmett and Darnell have they've come such a long way, man. They've come from him calling him Darnell to calling him dad, and you know, Riley's in the mix now, and Emmett has to accept that. He brought a whole new brother on him at some point, and he accepted it. Like their journey has been one that I don't quite talk about much, but I really appreciate. Another thing with Tiff is fucking cold-blooded, man. She's standing out back. Keisha comes out back. She's smoking a cigarette or some shit, and she offers to pay for the wedding and hugs Keisha. And then when Keisha runs off all like gleefully and shit, Tiff's still smoking that cigarette, and they like kind of zoom out, like it's not quite all the way ground level, but they zoom out to show the fresh dirt where they buried Nuck's body. God damn, Tiffany, you are cold-blooded, man. I like her character again. Like her character all over again. It was somebody on Instagram and Facebook, I think, that was like, nah, she's still a bird brain and a deadbeat mom. But I'm like, yeah, in the context of what I'm saying right now, as far as her handling business and doing the shit that Alicia wasn't able to do. Alicia wasn't able to kill the person that was directly responsible for her grief. Tiff was able to do that. So in the context of that, I like her character again. Now, whether she gonna be a good mom or not, I don't know. We're gonna have to fucking wait a spinoff or two to see that shit. As far as the situation with the kids, Bakari, you know, she slapped the fuck out of Bakari and was about to beat his ass, and Trick had to take her, like, had to move her because she was like, did you know that Nuck killed Rob this whole time? And Bakari's like, you can see the shame all on his face. He's like, yeah, I knew. And she slaps the fuck out of him and pushes the shit out of him, and Trick's like, yo, chill. And Trick's like, why you ain't say nothing? He's like, I didn't want him to kill me. And then Tiff blabbing. Somebody also made a good point and was like, everybody's a snitch on the Shy. Like, nobody can hold water. Everybody tells everybody his secrets. Because Tiff and Trig were like, yo, this stays between us. We got our story. Y'all got in a fight and he just left. And that's it. But she told Bakari that she killed Rob. Then she tells Bakari, you know, you work for me now because you owe me. And he's like, all right, cool. He doesn't put up a fight about it. But then she's like, I want you to move into Nuck's apartment. And, you know, if somebody pops up asking, just say he left and you'll know when he's coming back. I don't know if that's going to backfire on Bakari or not, but because she knows that Nuck killed Rob and she's got him, like, she's got strings on him now, but he also has something on her by knowing, you know, by her confessing that she killed Nuck. So I don't know how that whole thing is going to play out. I'm a little nervous about that. But, you know, Bakari and Lene, like, he's giving Lene shit now. He's like, well, if you was my woman, I would tell you where I lived at and what I'm doing in my life. And she's like, well, I'm not. And he's like, well, I ain't got to tell you shit either. And he just walks off. Like, I love that for him. I do want them to get back together for sure, but it's like they just on two separate paths right now, man. It ain't no telling where they're gonna end up by the end of this season, man. But this was a solid episode. I like the episode. Like I said, I love how I love the collective effort of getting all of the characters together in one space and, you know, one sequence throughout the entirety of the episode. That was cool. Now, I like, as far as what happens next, you know, and another thing I didn't like, man. Smitty, who the fuck are you, dog? You fake ass common sounding bitch. Like, he's like, where's Nuck? I think you killed him. And it's just like, dog, who the fuck is you? You've been around for 2 seconds. Yeah, you know Nuck. But he was a character that was just spouting out pointless lines at some point, man. And he was telling Nuck, like, sometimes it be your own bitch to take you out. And Nuck's like, not mine. He's like, you say that now. And it's like, damn, because you got women trouble, mine gonna kill me? And she did. But granted, like, it was just such a random line for him to say that was clearly foreshadowing what was going to happen or possibly happen. It ended up happening, but anybody could have killed him. But it's just like, Smitty, just get the fuck out the show. Please, man. Please, like, I'll take Raphael back to spin the block for Bakari before I need another line from you. But solid episode, man. Y'all already know. Stay tuned for the next one or whatever next slides episode I do or video, whatever the case may be.